Okay, so we are in the final week of the block. This is the last day that I haven't filmed for you guys, and of course, I'm a little bit frazzled today, and as part of that, I forgot to charge my camera battery, so you get a phone filmed workout today. Hopefully it works out okay. I also can't use my mic. I'm kind of a mess today, but we're gonna do it anyways. I promised I was gonna film one of each day, and I am a woman of my word, so it's gonna be on the phone today, and that's fine. I'm filming on my phone, so I can't check the workout, but if I remember correctly, today we have some heavy overhead pin presses, some lighter bench press, and then a couple of accessories, but today is actually a really quick workout. It usually doesn't take any more than an hour. If I'm really like busting a move, I can usually get it done in like 45 minutes. It's pretty easy. I'm not going to film my warm-ups today just because it's the same warm-up as I had on my bicep rehab day. So if you want to check that out, you can go back a couple of videos and watch that. But it's going to be like the wrist circles, the wrist like supination, pronation exercises, curls and extensions, some of the shoulder rehab stuff. So if you want to go back and watch that, that's all up, but none of the warm-ups today are any different than things that we've had already in this block. So I'm going to go warm up. I will meet you back here for pin presses, and this will probably be a pretty quick video because I think there's only like 3 or 4 exercises today. All right, like I said, starting with some pin presses. I just finished warming up. We have the pin height set to just at like the top of my forehead, and we have 3 sets here, building in weight, 12 reps, 10 reps, and then 8 reps. It's the same rep scheme that we've had the last couple of weeks, just trying to go a little bit heavier on the weight. So I did a couple warm-up sets. We are loaded up to 115 for our first set of 12, and then hopefully we can push the weight from there. My right shoulder is feeling a little bit sticky today, so I did a little bit of extra warm-up on it. I think it's going to feel okay, especially with the decreased range of motion, but I do really want to emphasize that, like, reach through the top and make sure I'm getting like a good solid lockout, because the shoulder's not really wanting to right now, so I think I'm going to force myself to do a little bit of a pause at the top, even on the higher rep set. So we're going into our first set of 115 for 12 on the pin presses. Right, that actually felt a lot easier than I was expecting, and I'm finally not having like any sort of pain or discomfort or anything with this movement. So I'm actually going to bring the weight up quite a bit more than the jumps I've been making the last couple of weeks, because that felt like it probably wasn't quite an appropriate RPE. So we're going to go up to 145 for the set of 10. All right, so I don't know if it's because I've been sandbagging the last couple weeks, or if it's because my arm is finally starting to feel better, or gravity is turned down today, but the weights are feeling really light, even though it's quite a bit heavier than I've been going. So I'm going to roll with it. We're going up to 165 for 8. If this still isn't quite the right RPE, I might do one more set at the end just to push the weight a little bit more, because it's supposed to be the hardest week. Right now, these are just feeling really light, which I'm not complaining about, but we're just going to keep it going and see how this one feels, but not getting any sort of pain or discomfort or instability besides that right shoulder that's feeling just a little bit sticky, but I'll take it. Possibly last set, possibly second to last set. All right, that was an appropriate last set. RPE was supposed to be 9 on that. That felt appropriate, so We're gonna move on to some bench press. All right, we've got some bench press up next, 3 sets of 8 with a 2 count eccentric. We actually get to go up to a 7 on the RPE this week. RPE has been under 5 the last couple weeks, which has been super boring, but like necessary. But we get to bump it up a little and actually like maybe work a little bit. So RPE 7, so we might actually get back up into triple digits, but just a consistent weight for 3 sets with a really slow controlled eccentric on this. Still not going to be pushing anything like super heavy, but just getting some good range of motion and hopefully pain-free movement. All right, so settled on 135 for the weight for today. On one hand, it feels really great to be back to benching a full plate. On the other hand, I'm a 300-pound bencher, so it's a little bit of a hit to my ego to have to bring it down. But 2 weeks ago, I was only benching the bar, and progress is progress. So it feels good to at least be back up to like a semi-respectable amount of weight for reps. So I've done 2 out of 3 sets here. I'm gonna hit my last set, and then we'll move on to a couple accessories. All right, our next superset of exercises is gonna be a cable rear delt fly into a straight arm pull down. We've got 3 rounds there, 15 on the cable rear delt flies, 10 reps on the straight arm pull downs. Going for an RPE 10 on these. So really gonna push the weight, work hard on these. We have this superset and then 1 more accessory at the end, and then we're just about done. And I'm not sure if you could hear me without the mic while I was actually doing it, but notice on the straight arm pull downs, I like to lean forward a little bit at the top of the movement to get a really good deep lat stretch, and then come torso up a little bit as I bring my arms down, just so I get a little bit more range of motion at the bottom. So I'm gonna hinge forward as I come up, and then chest up a little bit as I come down, just to get a good stretch and more range of motion for the lats. And then last exercise today is going to be a kettlebell armbar, so just working on some shoulder stability. So with the kettlebell, we're going to reach up, we're going to keep the shoulder blade packed, shoulder down away from your ear. We're going to let this knee come over the top and rotate as far as your shoulder mobility allows. I think it's better, you can go a little bit further, but as far as your shoulder mobility allows, and you can stay packed. And then there's a couple options from here. You can either just hold here and try to sink into that roll a little bit more. Some other variations that I like is you can kind of do oscillations to make it a little bit less stable, or you can do reps where you kind of roll back and forth, but we're focusing on keeping this packed, stabilizing the shoulder. We don't want it to get up into your trap. So kind of play around with variations. I've also seen people do like presses with it. My mobility does not allow for that very well, so I'm probably just going to go with oscillations today, but you can kind of play around with that. So, press, shoulder packed, wrist neutral, let this knee come over, Rotate as far as your mobility allows. You want to keep the shoulder back though. If you use a heavy enough kettlebell, this could be challenging enough. I'm going to go with little oscillations today, like 10 each direction, because this is where I feel the most challenge in those stabilizing muscles. All right, so we did 3 rounds of the kettlebell arm bars, and then that's a wrap for today. Like I said, pretty quick and easy workout. We had, 5 exercises today. Nothing too crazy. Mondays are really busy days for me, so I don't always have a whole lot of time to get long training sessions in. Plus, usually Sundays and Tuesdays tend to be really hard training days. So Monday, since it's in between those 2 days, tends to be a little bit lighter, lower volume, lower fatigue. So that is it for this block. I still have the rest of this week, but we've gone through one of each day together, and then next week will be deload. So I'll kind of try to think of some different content to put out next week, since deload week is not super exciting to watch. So if you have any ideas of things that you want to see, I know that there's been some requests for like a day of eating videos, so I'll do that for you guys. But if there's anything else that you want to see during my deload week, let me know in the comments. And as always, like, share, subscribe, all of those things. Thanks for being here, and we'll pick it back up in the next training block.